not something that funny. But then, nevertheless, as a result of this, I remember I had that right. If I'm not mistaken, I had the right. It became severe. Let me just put it that way. It became severe in 2016. It be the head of the femur thing. It became severe in 2016, and you see. But nevertheless, in that process, just imagine how stressful it will have been. Sometimes, especially when an undergraduate student, then it's not easy. The campus I attended happened to be a very large one, from one place to another end. You know, so it's and not it's not like there's even working transport system like that. That can carry you from one faculty to another. To another like that. It's not really in place. If you are coming from outside the school to inside, yes, that's in place. But that will take you from one faculty to another. Most times you can't find it. So, and then you got no choice. You just got to track. It's not funny at all. I tell you the truth, it's not funny. But nevertheless, while those things were happening, I didn't give up. And no matter what, no matter how see, let me tell you, I'm not trying to tell you to give up. Not, I'm not trying to tell you not to give up at your own detriment. No, when you can't do anything, just leave it. As a sickle cell warrior, especially, and that has led to one deformity in your body or the other. Yes, don't do it. But if in a scenario whereby you can still have your way around it, why not summon the courage to go ahead? Because I can tell you, a time is coming you will thank yourself for not giving up. I can tell you, you will thank yourself for not giving up. And I tell you, whatever you think you are going through today, no matter how worst it is, I tell you, your level is someone else's prayer point. Whatever you are going through, at the current state you are right now, is someone else's prayer point. No matter what, no matter, this is just a summary. By the time I release some of my subsequent videos, you will see how I work, how this thing has affected me, the site. But you might even see in some of my videos, especially for the site, you know, how I do my things, how I been able to do my things, move from one place to another. In fact, ever since I did the surgery, there should be less of stress on me compared to before I did the surgery. That's just the truth. Because now I have a foreign body. So it's not it's so when we talk of stress management, it's also something I know about very well. But nevertheless, you don't have any reason to give up. If what you can do, okay, let me tell you one thing I'm doing right now. I'm currently running my doctorate degree, and then in preparation for my research year, okay, towards my research year, um, I have in mind a certain number of papers to review, which is very much for my literature, the literature review, especially the empirical review. Okay, I have, in fact, the standard of the school is for PhD students is nothing less than 120. Yes, the standard is nothing less than 120. Yes, but I even want to make my go beyond that very well because one good thing about literature, especially for some of you that know about research writing, academic research writing that are listening to me right now, the more you explore, a wider range of literatures, it enrich your work. Are you getting it? So what do I need to do? All I needed to be doing is just that when the time comes, I don't have that time. My site might not give me. Just don't forget I said I do more of soft copy reading. Now, what I needed to do is just to be downloading more articles like that. I already know where I'm going to research into. I already know my field of specialization. Okay, so and that's what I even wrote on my master's thesis too. So the more I I already know my area of specialization, so I already tend to be downloading articles in that area, and not just downloading articles alone in that area. Okay, so before then, if all I can review in one day is just two literatures, which sometimes can even go beyond, okay, between now and my research year, I have I have less than 6 months between now and my research year. I have less than 6 months. I have 6 months. Let me just put it that way: 6 to 7 months. I have around 6 to 7 months between now and my research year. So if all I can review in just a day is two, so be it. Drop it. It's just two. In fact, by the time you spend 2 months or a month and a half, don't forget that I said there are times you even review more than two in a day, but just let's peg it as two. By the time you won't be done, I won't be by like in 2 months, I will meet up with the minimum standard of the department of the school. Are you getting it? And I will even be able to do more, I'll be able to explore more. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So in such scenario, because by the time my research year comes, I won't be able to do work at a very fast pace others will do. Others that have their sites not affected and all. I won't be able to do that. So what I can be doing right now is to download review. Even if it's to keep it, do your literature mapping, do my literature mapping, and carry out the empirical review. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So for instance, for such task that I have, since I already know such the task is tired, I won't be able to. Anybody whose site is not affected can review. Can review. In fact, can review 30 literatures, 30 papers in one day. Can review maybe 15 in one day. By the time he or she spends like 2 weeks, he will review the minimum, he will meet up with the minimum requirement of the department. Just 2 weeks. But for me, a month, 2, 3 months, I might still be there because my work pace will be very slow. But for me to still meet up with such a person, in fact, you can even be faster than the person in the long run. Are you getting it? So just reviewing two papers in a day, then rest, then do other things. Review two, rest, do other things. Before you know what's happening, you'll be on the same pace with someone who doesn't have any issues with his sight or with his health. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that's just the way some of these things goes. I understand that some of your situation might not be the sight, it might be the back, it might be the hand, it might be the leg, it might be one chronic. Just make sure that whatever you want to do, if all you might not be able to meet up with other people and you are not competing, this doesn't mean this is not a competitive mindset. This is just a wise mindset. There's always a way out, no matter how chronic the situation, even if it will require the assistance of someone. And this talks about how you need to know how to, as a sickle cell warrior, everybody needs to learn how to relate to people, but please, as a sickle cell warrior, because listen, I've even come to realize that some people with disabilities, some people with one health challenge, maybe a sickle cell warrior or non sickle cell warrior with one disability or the other. You see, people with disabilities tend to be people who attract pity easily. Yes, especially on a first sight. Yes, but it doesn't mean they have good character. If you're a sickle cell warrior or you have one physical disability or the other, and still your character no good, you get bad character, now you sabi. Now you sabi. I've seen scenarios where I've heard of scenarios whereby some will say, so even in this your condition, you still get this wicked character. Now what for you? You understand? Exactly. So even if it's something you will need people around you, you need to relate to people, you need to know how to relate to people, you know. It's one thing. One way or the other, there will surely be a way out. There will always be. You can't be so bad to the extent that maybe in one thing you are doing this, even if the person or even people will not come and do everything for you, and of which it is true, nobody will do everything for you. Okay? But at least in one aspect, one person can help you, this other person can help. If truly you have a good character, people will surely be willing to help. I'm not talking of people who envy you, who does not, because being a challenged person again, when some people, when they see that you are even doing things that even they have not been able to do, there's always this hatred and envy. Please, if you ever sense that, if we're not sensitive, it's a different ballgame. And if you have not even been sensitive before, tell the Lord to open your eyes of understanding. Okay, but in case you are sensitive, run away from those people. Manage your information around them. They don't need to have access to you. They don't need to have access to anything that concerns you at all. Be very careful. Okay, but nevertheless, there's no room to give up. Hmm? There's this popular street saying that now who give up for up. Okay, you always have a way around it. You always have, and there'll always be a way out. I tell you, there will always be a way out, one way or the other. At this junction, I'll be stopping. I'll be bringing this section, this episode to an end here. I still have more to say. By the time we do, you see, I bring up more of my videos. We'll see some things I'm trying to talk about. Do enjoy yourself. Enjoy the rest of your year. Enjoy the rest of the month. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do not forget, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow my TikTok page. Follow this TikTok page. Drop your comments. I appreciate your comments a lot. Drop your comments and please share because there's someone that needs to watch this. Please, there's someone that like, share, and follow. Please, there's someone that needs to drop this. Drop your comments. Okay, take good care of yourself and enjoy yourself. Cheers.